Welcome to episode 2 of Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and I live in South Wales in the UK, and today is a grey day. I'd like to start by thanking everybody who watched my first episode, who left lovely encouraging comments, and those that subscribed. It really does mean a lot to me. This past week I have been trying to learn how to edit videos because my first episode was very basic, and I have a feeling this one might be very basic too. I downloaded VideoPad yesterday, so I'm planning to try and learn how to use it tomorrow, as Monday is my day off. So we'll see how we go. You'll be able to tell by the state of this video. I plan to make a video every 2 weeks, and I think I'll record on a Sunday and upload on a Monday, so hopefully you'll see this tomorrow in some shape or form. Right, let's start with knitting. I know it's usual to start the knitting sections with your finished objects, but I'm going to save mine till last because I have something exciting that I want to share with you, and it'll link into my finished object. So, other things I've been working on. I have started my sleeve of my Georgetown cardigan. I knew I would if I said I had to do it on here. The Georgetown is by Hannah Fettig, and I am using this Merino's 105 yarn, and it's shade 205. I don't think I said that last time. I'm going to put things this side when I finished. I'm trying to get organised. I haven't been doing much of this cardigan. Two reasons. The first was this really long neckband that you have to pick up the stitches and knit all the way around. In the pattern, it doesn't tell you how many stitches to pick up. It just tells you to pick up 2 for every 3 rows. So I did the whole thing and felt it was too tight, it was pulling, so I had to undo the whole band, which as you can see is huge. I knit that again, so I did that. And then of course it came to the sleeves, and you had to do wrap and turn, and I'd not done that before, and I think I just felt, put it aside, do something easier. So wrap and turn is so easy, and I've done that much, which doesn't look that much, but it does come to about there. So hopefully next time, in 2 weeks time, I will have lots of that finished. Oop, my ball of wool has rolled over there. Oh, all tangled up. Right, so there's that. So there's a little bit of progress made on that. And the next thing I have been working on is the little jumper by Serdar, and I used the Serdar Crofter Snuggly, and the colourway, I have written all this down to be organised, and I'm failing again. Shade 152, not very exciting. And here I have the little back. Really comes out, I think, very clever. Well, it looks like you're clever, but it's the wool that's clever. So there's that. So I've made some progress with that. And then the dreaded socks. The Hungry Bee socks, which is this pattern. If you watched my last episode, I couldn't decide what to do because I couldn't work out how to do the little bees on the leg part. Each of these little bees is different because I just couldn't work it out. And if I try it on, it's a bit tight. And a lovely lady on Ravelry, when I said I couldn't do it, actually redid the bees and sent me some notes on how to do it. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to use this new needle that I have bought. I've seen other people using them. It's a higher sharp 9-inch, well, it's 2.5 millimeters, but 9-inch, so it's a teeny tiny sock needle, so it's 0.25 of a size bigger than the needle I used. And I thought I'd just start and do them all again, completely from scratch, but use this slightly bigger needle. So I'm using a different technique because I'm learning with a new small needle, but doing the same pattern, so that the lady very kindly went to the trouble of writing up the notes for me. That wasn't wasted. I shall persevere and I shall get these socks done. Right, my last, well, it's not a work in progress, my finished object is my colour wheel scarf. Here it is. I'm calling it my Tom Baker scarf because it goes on there and on and on and on. It's really nice, and I have worn it for a dog walk and it's lovely and warm, and you can just wrap it round and round your head, so it's lovely. I used the Sirdar colour wheel, and I did say it was in the autumn colourway, but it isn't autumn colourway, I made that up. It's shade 205. Not very inspiring. The pattern is actually on the back of ball band, and like I said last time, I did want to make something a little bit more inspiring, but I couldn't find anything nice to use, so, but I'm happy with that scarf. It's really nice. Now, the reason I showed you that last is I had some exciting news. I was watching the Tith and Bryn podcast in the week, and Ellie, who is the host there, has designed 2 new hat patterns, and she asked if anyone would be a test knitter and if you were interested to contact her. So I contacted her straight away. I've never been a test knitter before, and she replied and said that I could do it and I can choose which pattern that I wanted to test knit. Now, I have asked her, and if it has to be secret or if I can show you, because she did mention it on her podcast and she said yes, I can show you. So this is the one that I am planning to knit. Sorry, I have to show you on my phone because I haven't had a chance to print it off properly yet. And it is called the Love Hearts hat, and she also has a pattern, well, she's wanting test knitters for another hat called Broadleaf hat. Now, if you're interested in being a test knitter for Ellie, because she said she would, I think she probably still needs a few more, it's the Tith and Bryn podcast, and I shall try and put the name underneath here, but as I have said, I'm having editing issues, so I might not be able to do that. But as a thank you for test knitting her pattern, which I didn't need because I was quite happy just to do the pattern for her, she said to go along to her Ravelry patterns and choose one that she's designed already. There are loads in there if you want to take a look. And I chose the flip top mitts. Now, I used to call them postman mittens. I don't know if that's what you meant to call them. They're like fingerless mittens, and then you have the flap over the top to make them fingerless gloves, and there's a flap over the top that makes them into a mitten. Now, I have some wool or yarn in my stash, and it's the Stylecraft Alpaca DK. I have more than these, but these 3 colours, I thought I could do the hat in those colours because they would match my colour wheel scarf. See where I was going with that? And that way I will have I'm going to do the hat in those colours, and the gloves and the scarf. So there we are. That's all matching. Might be a bit too matchy, but I don't care. I'll have made them, so I'm going to wear them all together. Right, crochet. I still have no crochet projects on the go, but I have a plan. This pattern is free on Ravelry, and it's the Crochet Granny Stool cover. And my mum has an old Urcol footstool with big cushion tops in sort of, it's like a gold fleck stretchy material. It's a bit faded and threadbare, and she's asked me to crochet her a cover. And I knitted my grandson a Weasley jumper in two really nice, well, it was a rust colour with flecking and a gold, and my son-in-law a larger Weasley jumper with, is sort of black, very grey black with a fleck. And I'm going to use those three colours to make her footstools, because you need the three different colours because they will match her living room. So that project hopefully will be on the go by the time episode 3 comes up. Right, on to sewing. Right, I decided I was going to make a Valentine's dress. I was going to use some material I bought called, bear with me, my notes on the other page, Lines of Hearts fabric. And I had two choices of pattern, but I decided to go with this one and their version A, and it's the New Look K6262. And last episode I said the problem I was having with sewing, because I was fairly new, is that you needed a big block of time to spend working on projects. So what I decided to do was break it down into more manageable sections. So during the week I washed and dried the fabric, and I ironed it on the wrong side, ready to pin it to the wrong side, because that's an error. I always seem to pin my pattern pieces to the right side and realise that's not what you're supposed to do. So anyway, I'd washed it, and then on the Saturday morning I traced out the pattern pieces. I shortened the bodice piece a little bit because I'm only 5'1½". I graded out from the top to the hips because I'm a pear shape. I did it all, so I did that on the Saturday morning. Sunday morning I cut out all the pattern pieces, everything going well. Monday morning, because I don't work Mondays, I started the exciting bit, the sewing. So to start off with, you had to sew the stay stitching to the front and back bodice from the shoulder to the middle. And I've read all the pattern instructions, I'm doing it all brilliantly. And that's when it goes horribly wrong. So I open out my bodice piece to see how well I'm doing, and you see right down the middle of the bodice piece is a white line. It's where the fabric, I think, has been folded for so long, it's left a white line. And I was, what do I do? So I put it to one side, I left the room, I thought, I don't know what to do. How do you get that out? I tried to sponge it wet and see if nothing would take that white line out. So I didn't know what to do. I left it for a few days, and then I thought, I actually bought 2.5 meters of fabric. I did say last time 1.5, but 2.5. And the actual pattern says to use 2.5, but I had some left over, and I had just enough to recut that front bodice piece, and they had a little bit of the line mark on the side. I shall show you what I've done so far. This is Doris, and you have to name them, and I've named her Doris. And I did the stay stitching, I did my darts, I sewed the shoulders and I sewed the side, and I don't think you can really see, and I've got is the tiniest line here and here from where the fold in the material was. So that was okay. I was sewing away quite happy, thinking, oh, I've sorted that solution. I've made a solution for the problem. And then I thought, well, if the line was running down the front of the bodice piece, and I cut that on the fold, I also cut the front skirt piece on the fold. And yes, that has got, obviously, the white line too. So I went off again and I didn't do any more. I was hoping to finish this to show you, but what I've been thinking about it, what I think I will do is I will sew as if I was sewing a little seam, and take out the bit that's white. And there's a zip in the back, so the back is 2 pieces, so the front will be 2 pieces, and it'll just have a seam. So I'm hoping, and I've got seam allowance, I can use that. I'm hoping that will mean I will have a dress that's wearable, and it's all practice, and I'll get the fit perfected with that. I did contact the company that I bought the fabric from, and they have been very kind and apologised for the problem, and said that, you know, it must be frustrating when you've done all that work to it, and they've sent me a voucher to buy some more fabric on their site, so I couldn't fault them for that. I mean, these things do happen, but it was disappointing at the time. Hopefully I'll have some more progress on that for you next time. Right, so that's all my crafting sections. I do have 2 more segments, my Mary Berry recipe year, and also my dog walking. The trouble is, I'm still learning how to edit, and I'm not sure if I can upload these separate bits into my episode, so I will try, but if I can't, this is all you get this week, I'm afraid, and I shall promise to do better next time. But if I can, then you probably won't be seeing this bit, because I shall delete this bit out and you will see the next bit, which is Mary Berry recipe year. This time I chose to make the minted lamb casserole with porcini mushrooms, and it was in the At Home book, and this is what it should look like, and I will insert a photo of what mine came out like, and I have to say it was pretty similar to that, which I'm quite impressed with, because most times I make things, they never look anything like the picture in the book. This one did. I made a few alterations in that Mary, said to use 900 grams of lamb neck fillet, and I'm on a budget from 1st of January 2018, so I'm trying to keep within my shopping budget. So I used lamb steaks from Lidl, which are fine, and I would have used porcini mushrooms, but they were £3.50 for the tiniest bag, so I just couldn't do that. So we used fresh mushrooms, and it was equally, like I say, equally as nice, but I've never tried porcini mushrooms, so I don't know, could be a poor substitute, but we liked it anyway. I had hoped to film the process of making the recipe. I tried to do it on my phone, and more technical issues because the phone kept falling over, and I was faffing around so much with the phone I wasn't concentrating on the cooking process, which was going to be disastrous. So I just thought I'd put a photo in this time, and next time I've ordered a tripod for my proper camera, so next time I'm hoping I can film it properly, and it'll be a bit more interesting than a book with this is the rest of the picture and this is my picture. So I shall try my best to sort that out. Now, walkies with Charlie. This is what I'm going to call this section. And this week we went to Merthyr Mawr sand dunes. Now, these sand dunes are a couple of miles from where I live, and they are absolutely stunning. To get to them you have to go down a windy road and through a little village, and the village is full of thatched cottages and a lovely old church and graveyard, and they've got pick your own fruit and veg in one of the cottages, and another cottage in the summer does cream teas, and it's lovely. And then you go through that village and down the little windy road a little bit further, and then you're in the car park of Merthyr Mawr, and you've got the sand dunes, and you can walk along the bottom of the sand dunes along the Ogmore River out to the sea at Ogmore by Sea, or you can walk up the sand dunes, which is the walk we did, and you can walk that way and get eventually to the sea as well. And the day we went it was quite foggy, so I took some photos along the way, and the fog I think just added to it. It was lovely. And on the way back I took some photos of the fields surrounding Merthyr Mawr village that are obviously full of sheep. We have sheep everywhere. We have sheep on the beaches, on the common land, on the mountains, everywhere. So with my Walkies with Charlie videos or photos, expect to see a lot of sheep. Anyway, thank you again for watching. If you watched this time and made it to the end, I really do hope that I have managed to suss out how to edit these films and videos and put my photos in, because I did enjoy taking them. And thanks again for watching, and I shall see you all in 2 weeks' time.